What is your greatest fear? Death? Poverty? No. The greatest fear is that in your final breath, you are forced to walk through a gallery of all the glories you could have claimed, but were too afraid to try. Welcome to the Museum of Things That Never Began. Caleb passed away on a Tuesday a day, as beige and day, unremarkable as the 70 years that preceded it. His life was a pencil sketch, faint, easily erased, and terrified of bold strokes. He had never argued with a boss, never traveled alone, and never once dared to hold the hand of the woman he loved back when he was 20, the woman who now existed, in his mind only as the faint, haunting scent of lavender. When he opened his eyes, Caleb stood before a glass skyscraper that seemed to pierce the heavens, suspended in an infinite white void. A man in a charcoal suit, his face a mask of tragic calm, beckoned him inside. This is your gallery, Caleb, but it doesn't display what you did. It displays what you could have done. The first vault creaked open. Caleb fell to his knees. Inside stood a master painter before a gargantuan, vibrant canvas. The artist had Caleb's face, but his eyes were twin furnaces of passion. His hands were stained with pigment, but trembled with pride. Caleb remembered being 18, throwing his brushes into the trash because his father had barked, "Artists die hungry." In this room, the scent of turpentine and fresh linen was so thick it was agonizing. The second vault opened to the sound of laughter. Caleb saw himself as a father, tossing 3 toddlers into the air on a sun-drenched lawn. There, the woman with the lavender scent stood smiling at him. This was the life he had aborted because he feared the weight of responsibility. He heard his past self whispering, "Wait a little longer, until we're richer." But longer became never. Caleb began to howl, his fists thudding against the glass walls. Why show me this? Is this my hell? To torture me with what I lost? The curator looked at him with a pity colder than ice. No, it is to show you that you never lacked talent. You never lacked opportunity. You lacked only one thing, the courage to fail. You chose safety, Caleb, and that safety was the most comfortable coffin ever built. In the final hall, Caleb saw a version of himself at 80 scarred, weathered, but his eyes sparkling with the light of 1,000 stories. Caleb looked down at his own hands. They were smooth, clean, uncalloused, and utterly devoid of meaning. He realized that hell isn't fire. Hell is meeting the magnificent version of you when it is too late to change. As Caleb faded into the white light, the curator caught a single belated tear in a crystal vial. He placed it on a shelf labeled, "The Ossuary of Intentions." Regret for the things you did wrong will fade with time. But the regret for the things you never dared to start will haunt your soul until the end of eternity. Do not let your life end in a museum. Let it end in the dirt, covered in the scars of someone who actually lived.